Hello, this is Ed Ross with Ed's Forecast. Here's a pretty interesting one I want to talk to you about. This is sometimes very intimidating to the average real estate investor. If any of you who are listening to this know what this is, what an Apod is, well, you know what? Hats off to you. You are an advanced investor. And I am, excited to even have you listening to this video because you know what an Apod is. It also tells me that you've been educated and you are thinking in the right direction and you are a smart real estate investor. You got your head together. For those who don't know what an Apod, I'm going to tell you what an Apod is, and I'm going to tell you how that is something that is vital to real estate investing. It's a critical component to any big-time firm that invests in real estate, any regular investor in real estate, any millionaire investor in real estate knows what an Apod is. If they don't know what an Apod is, they don't belong in any kind of millionaire investment club as far as I'm concerned, or be in the ranks of millionaires. They're a lucky individual that got their real estate and didn't really ever do financial planning to do it. Maybe that's the 1/10 of 1% of the world that does that, but a lot of people win the lotto too. If you're a real estate investor, you need to be an educated real estate investor, and an Apod is a foundational point of being an experienced real estate investor. So here it is, an Apod. What is an Apod? An Apod is the annual property operating data sheet. Apod, annual property operating data sheet. Now, an annual, what that is basically is the financial projection annually for all the results that you'll make, along with key indicators on the results of what you will make on that property. Now, what is that equivalent to in the stock market? It's equivalent in the stock market like a 10K or 10Q. And why does public companies do a 10K or 10Q? Because they want to tell everyone how much money they made, what all the indicators were of the property, or of the stock, so that you know if you're making money on your investment as a stock. And those are annual reports that are required by law. Well, here's the interesting about real estate. You can go invest in a several $100,000 property, and no one ever tells you anything you need to know what its annual income is going to be, what its ratios are, how successful it is, because quite frankly, the average real estate person has no clue what they're doing. They just want to tell you, look how pretty this home is and it's really a great investment, you should buy it. Well, shame on them. Shame on anyone who tells you that uses the word investment in the same language and of selling you an expensive thing without also telling you here is the statement on how it's going to earn and what it's about. And it's just almost non-existent in the real estate world for real estate agents to teach you this, so only smart investors know what it is. Now, I'm not really going to go into great detail on it here because it is complex, but what I've done is I've turned it into the most simplest form of simplicity that you can manage, because really what an Apod is a big calculator. It's a calculator to say, here's what the rent is that I'm earning, here's what my expenses are, here's how much my mortgage is going to cost me, here's how much down payment I'm putting on the property, or I'm borrowing someone else's note and I'm using seller financing, and this is how much money I'm going to make on this property over the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I do Apods up to 10 years. So it's basically a projection of exactly how much money you're going to make on that property. Now, why would you ever buy any $100,000 item, $200,000 item, and say, I'm going to make money on it because I'm going to make some money on it, and you wouldn't have a financial statement on exactly how much money you're going to make based on all the income, expenses, and all the criteria? Quite frankly, I don't know how anybody can make such a large investment, even in their own home, your own principal residence, without knowing that. I mean, you certainly would want to know if you're buying a stock in a company, whether it's making money or not making money, right? If you bought stock, well, you might only buy, $1,000 worth of stock and you want to know if they're making money, but you're going to go buy a $100,000 home or $200,000 or $300,000 home, and you're not going to know whether it's making money for you or not. I'm talking about even making money on the appreciation. I'm talking about if you were to rent something, for the next 3 years versus buy this house down the block that you really want to buy, are you going to make more money renting versus buying? Or are you going to make more money buying versus renting? What is the real answer there? Well, an Apod tells you that answer. And you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be a mathematician. You have to just run a little simple calculator, answer a few simple questions. In fact, I think it's about 10 questions, 9 to 10 questions that I provide for you. I give these calculators to you, and you basically answer them, and you'll know, hey, I better rent, I better buy. I do this so many times with people that say, I'm renting because it's safer. And I say, okay, have you done the financial analysis on it? Well, no, I don't need to do that. The real estate market's really bad, and I'm afraid of it, and it's scary. Well, you know what? How much are you paying a landlord? Oh, I'm paying them $1,400 a month in rent. Okay, so you're spending $17,000 a year on rent. Okay, 18 or whatever the number is. You're spending X amount of dollars on rent. Is that money a good use to be spending? Because over 3 years, that's going to add up to $60,000 or $50,000 maybe. And would it be better to own and be paying that towards a mortgage? And how much more money would you make? Exactly how much more money would you make? And as long as you have a good, handle on the econometric model of appreciation, and you know what your expenses are, which those are a given, you pretty much know what your mortgage is going to cost, and you know what your rent's going to be. It's pretty easy to find out what the best decision is. I mean, it's so remarkably easy. It's unfortunate that not everybody does this when they're investing in real estate. So anyway, Apod. You now know what an Apod is. You know the value of an Apod. You are one step ahead of the rest of the marketplace by having that kind of experience, and hopefully I taught you a little something here today. Thank you.